Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my January 2016 wrap up in my February TBR. Now, I read a lot of books in the first week because I participated in the TBR Takedown 3.0 readathon, but then after that I hit a bit of a slump, partially because I got super sick, and then once I recovered I just had no energy, so I didn't read as much. But I did complete my TBR jar goal of reading 500 pages, a book with over 500 pages. I just didn't read the book that I originally chose. So let's get on into that. The first thing that I read was not a novel, but it was Batman Volume 2, The City of Owls. I read Volume 1 in December, and I read Volume 2 this month. I read this on New Year's Day, New Year's night, whatever. This was so good. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I'm learning so much about Batman because I've never seen any Batman movies, which is weird in my opinion because I'm, a superhero lover. So I should have seen the movies, but I will eventually, probably before Batman vs. Superman. Enough about superheroes. This was good, loved the art, loved it. The next book I read, I didn't plan on picking up so soon after Christmas, but Ansley from Books and Things read it right after Christmas and she raved about it. So I read The Martian by Andy Weir. This book was so funny. You wouldn't think a man being stuck on Mars would be funny, but it was. Science was never really my best subject in school, so those things kind of just flew over my head, but I still love this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I would have gave it a 5 out of 5 stars if I was into science, but it was still amazing. I still recommend even if you aren't a science lover like me. So this was so good, and also this cover is beautiful, and it's signed. Where's the signature? Right there. The next 3 books were part of my TBR Takedown 3.0 readathon, and I did a video explaining all my thoughts on it because I did the readathon wrap up, but I will quickly show you what the books are that I read, and I will leave the wrap up in the description box below. First book I read was Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by Newt Scamander, also known as J.K. Rowling, but you don't have to read this to see the movie. The movie this doesn't have anything to do with the movie. This just explains all the beasts in this world, in detail. You have fairy, and then it explains everything, and then, whatever that is. And it was just interesting, and it was funny because Ron and Harry did, little things in the margins because they borrowed this book from the library. Where is that thing? Oh, see? It says this book belongs to Harry Potter, and then shared by Ron Weasley, and then they just do little things like that. And it was kind of funny to read what they put in the margins because it related to, the books and all that, but it was fun. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars or something. I didn't know how to rate this, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it because I love everything Harry Potter. The next book I read was The Infinite Sea by Ricky Yancey. I did a book review, and it should be up already. Actually, it is up. I just posted it. But this is the second book in the Fifth Wave trilogy. I loved it. It wasn't as good as the Fifth Wave in my opinion, so I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars because it was slow in the first half, but then when you got to Ringer's point of view in the second half, it just flew by so fast. Even though I still read this in like a day or so, it was just amazing. Next book I read was A Work in Progress by Connor Franta. This is his memoir. He is a YouTuber, if you don't know already. I love this so much just because I'm already a huge fan of Connor Franta, and it was fun to learn more about him. And the way that he wrote it, there was like a bunch of sarcasm mixed in with it, and I loved everything about it. I love his humor, and there's like pictures, there's Connor, all throughout the novel. And also, this book without the dust jacket is beautiful. I loved it. Love it. Also, this makes you think that there's a bookmark inside, like one of those built-in things. No, it's just dangling at the end. I don't know if I got a defective one or if that's on all of them, but why did they feel the need to put that in there? What is this? Next book took me so long to read, and it wasn't because I didn't like it. It's just because I was reading it while I was sick in bed, like dying. My phone just went off, but I read The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I loved this book so much. It only took me so long because I was reading it in between like my sleeping things because I kept taking a bunch of medicine and stuff. So I would have finished it so much quicker, but I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, 4.5, just because it's so slow in the first 50 to 100 pages. But then once you get past that mark, you just want to read more. I stayed up till like 2 a.m. reading this one time, and I loved it so much. I did a blog post review on this, and I plan to do a video review on it because I loved this so much. The characters were so awesome. The characters are honestly what made the story for me. Like, the plot was interesting. Okay, if you don't know, this is about... I'm already talking about the characters. I haven't even told you what it's about. It's about this girl named Blue, whose family is psychics, but she is not one. And her whole life she is told that if she kisses her true love, he will die. And then on St. Mark's Eve, she is in the graveyard with her family, and she sees well, it's not really a ghost. On St. Mark's Eve, you see the soon-to-be dead. And she sees a boy, and they say that for someone who doesn't have the sight, and if they see someone, that it's either because he is her true love or she kills him. So that was super interesting, and I loved everything about it. I loved this book so much. It only took me so long because I was reading it in between like my sleeping things because I kept taking a bunch of medicine and stuff. So I would have finished it so much quicker, but I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, 4.5, just because it's so slow in the first 50 to 100 pages. But then once you get past that mark, you just want to read more. I stayed up till like 2 a.m. reading this one time, and I loved it so much. I did a blog post review on this, and I plan to do a video review on it because I loved this so much. The characters were so awesome. The characters are honestly what made the story for me. Like, the plot was interesting. Okay, if you don't know, this is about... I'm already talking about the characters. I haven't even told you what it's about. It's about this girl named Blue, whose family is psychics, but she is not one. And her whole life she is told that if she kisses her true love, he will die. And then on St. Mark's Eve, she is in the graveyard with her family, and she sees well, it's not really a ghost. On St. Mark's Eve, you see the soon-to-be dead. And she sees a boy, and they say that for someone who doesn't have the sight, and if they see someone, that it's either because he is her true love or she kills him. So that was super interesting, and I loved everything about it. And the next book and the last book I read in the month of January, what completed my read a book with over 500 pages challenge that I picked from my TBR jar. And I read Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. This book is exactly 500 pages, so bless this book. I probably will read Outlander, which is the book I originally was going to read for this challenge, next month, because I'm starting to get back into that reading habit after being sick. But anyways, this is the second book in the Infernal Devices trilogy. I mean, there's not much to say because I can't really spoil it since it is the second book, but I just grown to love these characters even more. I did enjoy the first book, Clockwork Angel, but I was like, people say that it's their favorite trilogy and I wasn't really getting it. I'm starting to get it now. I'm getting it, guys. Will Herondale is a beautiful man who reads, and he's British. He's perfect. Am I the only person who pictures Will Herondale as Ian Somerhalder? If you don't know who that is, he plays Damon in The Vampire Diaries. That's who I picture as Will, and it kind of just makes me love him even more because I don't know. Because Will is described with, like black hair and like real blue eyes. That's Ian Somerhalder. That is him. That's him, guys. So that's it for my January wrap up. Oh, I'm just all over the place. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it so much. This is my only 5 out of 5 stars this month. So bless this book. Anyways, I hope you enjoy and see you in my next video. Bye.